Welcome back. We have an update from Kobo Resources, trades on the OTCQB under the symbol KBRIF and on the TSXV under the symbol KRI, and emerged with a clear mission to explore the untapped potential of one of the most prospective gold belts in the world, located in Côte d'Ivoire, which currently hosts several multi-million ounce gold deposits. Please welcome CEO, Director, and Corporate Secretary Ed Gosselin. Welcome back to the conference, Ed. We're looking forward to your update today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and welcome everyone to this update. For starters, the host mentioned, we're in Côte d'Ivoire. That's where all our assets are, and we're focused on finding near-surface mineable ounces. Um, Kobo is right now drilling one major prospect, which is the Kossou project, and that's next door to an existing mine called the Yare mine site operated by Perseus Mining of Australia. So we happen to be in a great belt. We've got a strong team. The former drill manager of the Yare mine site is our drill manager. We brought on board some key partners in the name of Mota and Joe, of Portugal last year. And the number of drilled meters is inaccurate as of today. We've probably drilled close to 30,000 meters because we started the campaign, a new campaign as early as the September 4th. For you people who do not know much about Côte d'Ivoire, this was a situation 10 or 12 years ago when the mining code was revamped. And this is the state of affairs today. So as you can see, the government made the right decisions in making a mining code that was favorable to attract foreign investments. And it has been a success for the country. This is a slide that gives you a snapshot of gold production in West Africa, generally speaking. So they have been performing extremely well over the years. On this slide, you have our land package. So to the left is the Kossou project in the red square. The blue box, small blue box, is the Yare mine site. So we're basically less than 10 kilometers away from an existing mine, which has already depleted close to half of its resource to date. So our job is to find as many mineable ounces as possible on surface and become a takeout target. In the rest of the country, we have another license by the name of Kotobi. That's more grassroots. That's progressing as we speak. And we have signed a couple of earn-in agreements earlier in the year with Nesdave Mining Company. And we have another few applications pending, the Bokanda, the permit, which is next a bit to the northwest of the Kotobi license, and the Yakase Gold project, which is also in the Adzope region close to the earn-in with Nesdave. In terms of changes since our presentation that we had on August 21st or 22nd, I believe, we've since completed a $4 million raise. So we're all cashed up for this current drill program and the grassroots stuff that we're doing in the east of the country. And like I mentioned before, we've done approximately a little more than 5,000 meters of drilling since September 4th. We've done a lot of drilling on the Jagger zone on this slide here. Yep, I know it's a road cut. This is the Jagger. So we're advancing as fast as we can in order to produce our first MRE in Q1 of next year, around there. So the Jagger zone that was heavily drilled to date has received at least or more than 55% of the drilling meters. And we are also drilling the other core area, which is the road cut zone. That's where we had our initial discovery. So we got two drills turning right now 24/7. And we normally release results every 3 weeks, give or take. The lab has been fantastic in getting us results turned around within an average of 5 to 7 days. So that's why we're able to put out news. So I would assume that probably next week you should be seeing on the wire some updated results on the drilling campaign. And this is an area where the Katy zone, that's a different beast that we're trying to understand, but has not seen as much drilling as the other two zones. But we do intend to push the envelope on that one as well. Just to go back a little bit, I see that Paul has joined us. Paul is our COO and president, as well as our chief geologist. This area that or this slide that you see is the, or the next one I should show you, the geochem targets. If you look at the dotted line on the side of the road cut zone and the Jagger zone, that dotted line is what we call the contact fault. We've been drilling there as well, and we think that that's an area that should produce some good mineable ounces for us in the very near future. So we're excited about that and what's unraveling in that area. In terms of main catalysts, we have decided to add or increase our land package in country. And as you can see, when I mentioned before, the Yakase project, that's a pending application. We hope to get that permit issued to us in Q1 of next year. And on this asset, you can see that there were historical drilling results that we were able to get our hands on, and some very interesting results, namely 21 meters at 4.5 grams per ton, and 20 meters at 1.6, 44 meters at 2.32. So we're excited about that asset. And that discovery, or these drill results that are there, are on a strike extent of approximately 3 kilometers. So as soon as that permit is issued to us, we will get to work on that one. And we should also be getting some work done on the Nesdave mining project at the bottom that you can see. We also own another subsidiary called Kuniboa. So we're strategically picking up assets in an area where we believe that has high potential for results in terms of exploration and drilling. In terms of the cap structure, following the raise that we did in September, we now have 118 million shares issued, approximately. Management has a high stake in it, 35%, as you can see, a couple of institutions in there, and the public float at 40%. And our strategic partner in the name of Luso Global Mining, who happens to be a subsidiary of Mota and Gil. Mota and Gil is a large EPC company based in Portugal, 50,000 employees in 30 countries, is a mine contractor in 10 mines in Africa, has had a presence there for nearly 80 years. So a very solid partner to have on board for us should we be making a decision to build one day on a discovery. I can let Paul talk a bit to the geology per se, and then near the end of the presentation, we can have a couple of minutes where we will take some of your questions. Paul, do you have anything that you would like to add to the audience on the geology so far in our drilling campaign?
Yeah, thanks, Ted. Sorry for joining late. I had a bit of a computer glitch, but yeah, I mean, this is a typical orogenic gold style deposit that you will find in West Africa gold terrains. As Ted mentioned, that contact zone fault, we think that's an important feature. It separates a significant package of volcanics, which is where most of our mineralization lies within, and a sedimentary units to the northeast. It's, we think that's the structure that is providing the fluid flow access from deep down the Earth's crust to bring all this mineralization to surface. And again, we're looking at that as a target as we move forward as well. In terms of each deposit, or each showing that we're drilling off at the moment at the Jagger zone, what you've got is a series of north-south trending shear zones. And within that very broad, it's anywhere from 40 to 60, 80 meters wide in places. And within that major shear system itself, we're getting a number of these, what we call V2 veins, which are these northwest or north-northwest to west-northwest trending quartz veins that bring in some significant high-grade values into our results. So You can see here on the slide that's been brought up, this is the Jagger zone. We've established the core of that zone over about 650, 700 meters strike length. We've drilled that target down to approximately 100, and actually now we've drilled it down about 200 meters below surface. You know, the shear zones are still open at depth. And again, if you look at the left-hand side of the slide there, you'll see some of our better results that we've pulled off of this target. And again, you can see these broad zones, 48 meters of a gram, 20 meters at 1.87 grams per ton, all good grades. But I think what's important is you can see some zones in there you're getting 2 meters at 18 grams per ton, 3 meters at 11 grams, almost 12 grams per ton. That's the impact of these high-grade quartz veins. And what we're trying to do now with the diamond drilling programs and our modeling is really sort out the distribution of those V2 veins, because they're clearly an important structure in terms of the gold endowment for this shear system. When you move north, this is the road cut zone. No, go back. Yeah, road cut zone. Oh, yeah, I can do it here. There we go. There's the road cut zone. Again, very, very slimmer situation. We've got over 1 kilometer of strike length on this shear system that we've identified here. And importantly, there's an area down on the east side of that, about halfway down the page you're looking at. We call it the artisanal mining zone. And the recent drilling that we're getting in there, we've released some results from that in our latest press release, and there'll be more coming out over the coming weeks, as Ted mentioned. A really interesting zone, very highly silicified zone of mineralization there. We're getting some really good cuts on that as well. And again, you can see a slimmer situation where you're getting broad widths at moderate grades. So, 12 meters at 1.48 grams, 13 meters at 2 grams. But again, you'll see these high grade hits, like 1 meter at 20 grams, et cetera. Those again are the influence of those cross-cutting quartz veins that we're finding in our drilling to date. So these are all very, very positive results for us. And again, as Ted mentioned, that contact zone, we've had some holes into that recently, and we're getting some pretty interesting looking rock out of that as well. We'll have some results out on some of that coming up here in the next couple of weeks in terms of press releases. Again, I think that's a target that we're going to be very keenly looking at and seeing how we can develop that and see how many ounces we might be able to put together on that particular target as well. So the other thing to mention, I think, here is that between the Jagger zone, the northern end of the Jagger zone, and the southern part of the road cut zone, there's about a 400-meter gap in there. And based on our trenching work and more recent drilling, we now think that those two zones are likely connected through the same structural event. And what we're doing is we're putting a series of holes into those as we speak, trying to see if we can connect these two zones together. If we can do that, that gives us, over 2.5 kilometers of strike extent on this overall shear system, where again, we're trying to target what we think are the hot spots within that system to see if we can build some ounces. So again, it's a nice target. We're still drilling it. We will be coming out, we believe, with a mineral resource estimate in Q1 of next year. So there'll be lots of news flow, I think, over the next few months, and hopefully we'll have some good numbers out for you guys in the new year. You can see how many ounces we've been able to build on the project.
Wonderful.
And I guess
Well, thank you. Sorry, Paul, we do have to move on to our next presenter in about 2 minutes, but this was a really great, thorough update, and we appreciate you hopping on. Ed, Paul, please join us again in the future, but thank you for this update today.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks very much.
All right, everyone, we'll be right back.
Bye.